Hello there guys, it's me again, UnstableVoltage, and welcome back to another episode of How to Feed the Beast in Minecraft. In the last video we constructed our first multi-farm, and as part of that we also built an aqueous accumulator, which is one of the handful of new machines added with the thermal expansion. So today I thought we'd start having a look at those machines and start off with one of the more basic ones. I present to you the thermal expansion Sawmill. Quite a simple little machine whose sole purpose is to refine logs into planks. Now what's the point of that, I hear you ask? We can do that already. Now well, the idea of the sawmill is it will actually give us more planks per log than doing it the old manual way. Not only that, it also produces an interesting byproduct which we're going to have a look at. So as always, let's pop on over to the workshop and see about making one of these. So here we are in the workshop and over to the crafting table. The recipe to make one of these is quite simple. It's all things that you've probably built before if you've built the majority of the machines earlier on in this series. You're going to need an iron axe, which goes in the top middle, a machine frame, which again relatively easy to build in the middle slot, planks either side of that, copper ingots in the bottom corners, and you are going to need a redstone reception coil, which is just a couple of redstone and a gold ingot in the bottom middle, and there you have a sawmill. So let's just quickly pop this down in the middle of the floor just because I want to show you something. Now with a lot of the thermal expansion machines, you will notice that the different sides have different colours. Obviously this may vary depending on which texture pack you are using. So we have two blue sides here, we have a red side, we have the yellow on the top, and I'm not sure if there is anything on the bottom, but if we right click, what you normally see is this interface here. Now as you can see we have a blue slot here, which is the input for the wood that we're going to be making. We have two red slots which are the output, which will be the planks, and we have the yellow slot which will be the secondary output for the byproduct. So blue, red, yellow. So this will be our input here. If this is the front, this will be our input for the logs on the left hand side. The back can also be an input for logs. The red on this side is the main output, and the yellow on the top is the secondary output. However, what we can do is we can change these around. So if we click on this cog on the bottom right hand corner, we can actually see the top of the machine, the bottom of the machine. So on the bottom there is another yellow socket. We also have the side of the machine, the back of the machine in the corner, and the right hand side of the machine. Now what we can do with these is we can actually change them around. So the connection on the top of the machine, which is currently an output for the secondary product, if we click that, it changes to orange, and you can see that both of these sockets are now partly orange as well. This means that we can actually, using the orange socket, suck both products out through one socket. We can also change it to all the other colours, so we could make it so that it also becomes another input. We could change it so that it becomes another main output. So we'll leave it as the default for now and just get back out of there. Now in order to move one of these around, you're going to need the thermal expansion tool, which is the crescent hammer. Again, very easy to make. You're going to need 3 iron ingots, top 2 corners, bottom middle, and a silver ingot right in the middle. And there you go, a crescent hammer. Now the good thing with the crescent hammer is it doesn't have any durability, and as well as being able to be used on the thermal expansion machines, it will also work on certain Buildcraft items, particularly pipes. So if you have an iron transport pipe that you want to change direction, use your crescent hammer, it won't take any durability damage. Now, left clicking with the crescent hammer doesn't do anything except breaking blocks normally. If you right click with the crescent hammer, it will actually change the direction in which the machine faces. It rotates it round, and if you hold the sneak key, which is shift by default, and right click, it will actually break the block and give it back to you. So let us pop it down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it here. As usual, it does require Buildcraft power, and I've already made a space for it and put the sign on the wall, so I'm going to pop it right there in the right place. Now I'm not too bothered about piping things in and out of it at the moment, but there are a few things that I do want to do. First of all, 0 megajoules. Need to make sure it's getting power, so let us flick the switch and turn the engines on downstairs, and let's have a look. Okay, so we're not getting power at the moment. Ah, yes, we are. It's coming in. That is absolutely fantastic. So we are getting power. Brilliant. It does take a little while to charge up, but that is fine. So, what are we going to be doing with this? Well, if we just step out there for a moment and we take an oak log, for example, as always, if we take one piece of wood, we can split it into 4 planks. So one log becomes 4 planks. However, if we go to the sawmill and place one log in the sawmill will give us 6 planks. So instantly we get more yield for our logs, and we also get sawdust as a byproduct. So let me just throw some more wood in there, mainly because I want to get the sawdust. Now I don't have to worry too much about the configuration for the pipes at the moment, because I'm not actually putting anything in or out. We can see the machine's still working. Got another couple of logs left to do. And there we go. So as you can see, from just a few logs we've got so much wood, but we also have 12 sawdust. Just going to turn the power off for the moment. If we take our sawdust over to the crafting bench and we just make a square block of it with a gap in the middle, it gives us what looks like an ingot of compressed sawdust. We'll then pop that ingot into a furnace, and the result is charcoal. So not only do we have a machine that allows us to turn our wooden logs into wooden planks more efficiently, but we also get a byproduct that can be used as fuel. Just want to pop outside and show you guys another little thing that I did. As we've had the carpenter here since one of the very first episodes, the carpenter requires a supply of water for most of its recipes. So if I just take you outside and show you what I did in between the last 2 videos. So if you remember a few episodes ago, I showed you how to build the Buildcraft pump, which we are using to draw water from this well, and that goes downstairs below the peat bog and supplies water to our moistener and the carpenter. There's our multi-farm still working away, which we created last episode. So what I've actually done is, behind this building where the pipe goes down into the ground, I have branched off the pipe, and it runs along under the ground all the way along behind the peat bog building. It goes along under here, which is the old wheat farm, which I've now destroyed because it's a bit redundant, and the water pipe runs the entire length of the back of the workshop, 1 block beneath the dirt, and as you can see, it comes up here, goes through the wall into the back of the carpenter. This is fantastic now. I don't have to keep putting buckets of water into the carpenter to supply it. It also means if I build any other forestry machines on the back of this wall that require water, all I need to do is punch a hole in the wall, make a hole in the dirt, and connect it up with some waterproof pipes. Now, if you are going to pipe water into the back of the carpenter, it is a good idea to remember to keep the pipe exposed. The problem with carpenters are, although majority of the recipes require water, there are a few that require other things such as seed oil, and it's impossible to extract the water from the carpenter and put seed oil in if you're constantly pumping water back in. So just make sure you keep the pipe accessible so you can come along and break it if you need to. You can pump the water that's in the carpenter out with a pipette, and then you can put your seed oil in. So there we have it guys, our second thermal expansion machine, and although it may be a simple one, it's a really good way to increase your wood yield, and it also gives you the ability to get some extra fuel. On a matter of extra fuel, over the next few videos I'm going to be looking at starting biofuel. We've been running everything at the moment off peat-fired engines as far as the Buildcraft power goes, and it would be nice to use something that's a little more powerful, and it will allow us to have most of our power generated from a single place and pump it back to all the machinery that we need. So that's what we're going to be looking at over the next few episodes, and in due course I'll also be covering the rest of the machines from the thermal expansion because they are generally quite interesting. So once again, as always, I hope you found this video both useful and entertaining. If you have, please like, share and subscribe so I can continue to make these videos. And if you have any ideas for things you'd like to see in future videos, such as a particular machine or item that you'd like to see me build and demonstrate, please either send me a message or leave it in the comments below. So until then, I have been UnstableVoltage, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!